Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Industry Street, and you know we always got something special for you. Ladies and gentlemen, got something special. Well, this is my long-time brethren. When I mean long-time brethren, I've known this guy for donkeys. I've known this guy from all nations. I know this guy from people like Merlin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome one of the original people out there. Some people might like him, some people might not like him, but I always say these words to people. If people are talking about you, it's because you're a threat. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome my good friend, Mr. Markie B.
Big up, Peter.
What's going on, Marks?
Boy, I'm back in the cold, brother. But you know what?
You're back and forward. What is going on, bro? What, you building some big house there in flipping Gambia? Is that what you're doing? You're building a club, Mark?
No,
Mark, let's not go there. We don't need to go there. We'll get to that part of the story.
Let's
Mark,
get there.
You know I do this Industry Street, and I've been trying to get hold of you for a number of
donkeys.
And you're finally here.
Yes, brother.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further more, I'd like to say, Markie B, this is all about your life. Now, I know Markie B was born and bred in Hackney. Am I right? Oh my God! That's all I know. Mark,
it's true.
I
was up there from. No, but I've been trotting the area from the 80s. Yeah, like mid 80s. But you know what? I'm original South Londoner.
Are you really, Mark?
I'm original South Londoner. I come from Deptford originally.
Mad.
Yeah, and I went to the same junior school as Mystery in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I grew around Mystery, Neville, Shaka, them colour. I used to live up Shaka's boxes. I was a box boy.
We're gonna get to that, Mark. We're gonna get to that, bro.
Anyway, come back then, right?
So, what school did you go to then?
John Evening, when I did go to school. Yeah, that's in junior school, and Catford Boys.
Right.
With few people, you know, like Raymond Fifth Avenue and this and that, and certain other man. Okay. Even he was a prefect, Robbie G.
Robbie.
Yeah, he used to, you know what I mean, slap me around the ears and all that. Yeah, big up Robbie and all of that. But yeah, I went Catford Boys.
So Markie, I believe to myself, I gotta say this because I know your character. You're a little rude boy at school, weren't you?
Well, I wasn't a rude. People used to. I can say, Peter, I was a discipline to certain aspects, but I lost my parental guidance when, like I said, I was in school around 14 years of age. Yeah, I was in and out.
So you used to bunk school?
Yes, because I was around sound system from a long time ago. Like I was around it from about, I could say about 10 years of age.
Right.
And I'm so glad. Big up Father Ricky, Mighty Excelsior Sound System. That's where I started my music career. Okay. As a roadie, the right name for it, but as a box boy, as we know, you know what I mean? Let me turn box boy to hot boy. You see one thing with me, I can talk about my, you know, my where I started my roots and ground. So yeah, Mighty Excelsior Sound from Deptford originally, and I inherited the sound and took the music business to that next level, which we will come to.
So before we get to that, Mark, though, so we're going back to more your school years. So you were a disruptive pupil, you bunked school, so you're getting into little bits of this and little bits of that. Is that what you did?
No, tell the truth, I was always in the music. Funny enough, Peter, I was a soul boy back in the days, yeah? And I used to dance on the streets. There's certain people who were in Catford, I used to dance outside McDonald's and things like that, you know, do the robot and things like that. No, I was a really good dancer back in the days. Okay. Yeah, I could say, big up John Riley, them guys, them show me some moves back in the days. We always go into battle dancing and things like that, you know, the electric ballroom days, the Horseshoe, Tottenham Court Road, Flicks, Dartford.
So what age were you at?
Oh, I was a teenager, man. I was like,
Mum and Dad couldn't control you?
Well, my father, who was never ever there. Funny enough, he passed not even
Sorry,
a
R.I.P.
month ago, but
R.I.P.
you know, he's never been in my life, I could say.
Regrets?
Yeah, who me?
Yeah. For the role model's sake?
Yes and no, a bit of sweet, because really and truly, because of my children, especially my daughters, women are more emotional.
Yes.
He came up in a conversation, they want to meet my grandfather, their grandfather, not my grandfather, but he left my mum when I was only 5.
Sorry to hear that.
And my mum was not too well, so I was always bitter about that, you know, because she passed when I was 14 years of age.
Sorry to hear that. R.I.P.
Yeah, so from 14 years of age, that's when I said I'm from the streets, because I grew myself in the streets, you know. But, you know.
So you say you're a streets man?
Yeah, I can say that. But the one thing I never get involved in certain things which I see, is this drug selling. I just stuck with the music thing, and God is great, I should say.
So would you say you were a hustler at them times?
Yeah, I hustle, man.
How do you hustle?
I would hustle like, one thing I got on with all nations, black, white, green and brown. So, you know, if certain little things came along, well, it's so funny.
You were the go-between?
Yeah, but way back in the days, yeah, let's say in my teenage days, yeah, because I always loved cars, yeah, and how I stayed afloat. Some people might remember this, some people might have done some, but I was speaking to my friend Gussie, who runs his own double glazing firm. He's a long time friend, and we were talking about the days of how he used to hustle, as you say. Now, back in the days, you know, scrap metal was money.
Yes. Big money, actually.
Big money, and I like cars, but...
I think it's come back again to be big money.
Yeah, it's big money, but what we used to do to hustle our money, we knew a guy called Scrapman Tony from Hither Green, South London, and he picks up old cars. So we would go around to people's drives and see old cars which ain't moved and knock on the door, and they, you know, them days they give it away for free
because they weren't recognising of how much it's worth. Really.
Yeah. Nobody cared back then, and Scrapman Tony would come along, pick it up, and you know, we were flushed. That was like a few days' wages. You know what I mean? Like 20 quid, or 20 quid back then, and it was quite good. And we started talking about the cars we actually had in our possession through that, like Dolomite Sprints, worth a lot of money right now. Capri's.
Remember the Capri?
I had a 4.2 Jaguar, that's coupe, manual.
Wow.
Very rare. With the overdrive like the Dolomite Sprint on.
You had one?
Yeah, I had one. I was only a kid back then, but what it is...
How did you nick it?
No. It was so funny. I did buy it from someone in Blackheath, you know, big old house in Blackheath. You know, them driver can have about 6 or 7 cars. But yeah, it was a conversation I had with my friend Gus about a week ago, like what we done to survive. But we never stole, we never robbed.
Okay.
You know, we made sure we got by, and that came into parcels. You know, like there'll be things. It was a bit like, what's that guy's name on TV? If you get something, you sell it. Trotters. Yeah.
Only Fools and Horses.
Only Fools and Horses, yeah. So if there's a little parcel around, like something's gone missing, like a lorry or something with a load of...
A lorry. Markie was the one.
A lorry's gone missing with a lot of Nintendo games. You're like, okay, we got them for half price, you know. But like with the middleman like that. But yeah, we survived. But
so Markie, you never went for a walk?
What, jail?
Yeah.
Nah, they tried that, but nah. You know what it is? That was a promise to my mum, you know, because she always said, well, what's going to happen to me when she's gone? I'm the baby of the family. And
big family, siblings?
Yes, I got I got 2 brothers here and 2 in Jamaica, and 2 sisters, but one of my sisters passed away.
Sorry, R.I.P.
During COVID when I was in Africa. But yeah, a good sized family.
So after the schooling situation, I mean, what did you decide to do? I mean, obviously you a little bit of a disruptive child, said, if I'm allowed to say that.
I wasn't disruptive. I wasn't.
But you didn't go to school.
Yeah.
So you were uncontrollable.
I wouldn't say uncontrollable. It was like what they were teaching in schools. I don't know why, but it couldn't grab my.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Right now, you've got 4 6 A's.
I got 4
You
6 A's.
you got 6 A's. You got City and Guilds. You got everything.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your qualifications.
Yeah, my qualification is Real School of Hard Knocks.
Okay. You get by.
Yeah, well, the Hard Knock School, if you look at it, it brought most of the insightful people in the world.
So you say you don't need qualifications to be where you are?
No, 1 or 2 I would have maybe have liked to just further, like
Education.
yes, like computering and things like that.
I'm exactly the same.
Like it's a computerized world, but I am a hands-on man. So everything like laptop, all these kind of things, and mails and what I'm doing now, I taught myself. I'm self-taught.
Mad.
Yeah, so I'm good. I can't really grumble, because when I really look on it, and we'll get to the story, I've seen most of the world more than some of my friends who's got their mums and dad and went back and got diplomas and all kinds of stuff at university.
Yeah.
So, like I said, God is great,
So no college or nothing like that?
I've done the college a bit with music. I've done a couple music courses, actually with Merlin as well.
I'm Merlin, yeah.
Yeah, because as you know, Merlin, I'm known from way back in the 80s. And Merlin lived in Woolwich. I was living in Thamesmead. These are the days when things were bad out there.
Racial?
Very racist. Yeah, so I was one of the pioneers to make people come out in Thamesmead and start raving. Yeah, because I came from that sound system, and I was bringing like that other part of South over to Thamesmead. It's changed now though.
Oh, it's beautiful now.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
I'll never forget the first time I moved around there, and I went into stage 2, and I went in the shop. And I'm thinking, all I heard is, nigga.
Wow.
And I was like, and I see this crowd of white guys in the flats. I thought, wow, you know what? I thought I've outgrown this, you know what I mean? Because it was I just got an apartment over there. But we got our respect in the end.
Is that because you had to take the law into your own hands?
Well, yes, because you know what you have to remember, Peter, like yourself, we paved the way, we opened doors, and now a lot of these our youths don't really understand what we had to go through to make that way, even on the football fields, football terraces, because you know I'm a die-hard Arsenal fan. I grew up with Ian Wright around in Brockley, and he was like that figure where you all looked at and said, yeah, you know what I mean?
Would Ian still pick up the phone and talk to you?
I think he had it, if he had my number, because I'm not name dropping, because I remember a time was Ascot and Lennox Lewis, the boxer's birthday party, and we was there. I was with, who was I with? I think I was with Merlin, and then I see Ian, and he saw me, and he remembered me, he hugged me up, and there was a load of, and it was quite. He's so grounded. Do you understand me?
Yeah,
so
he seems a grounded guy.
He's my guy. You know what I mean? I always
well, it's that thing
him.
he did the few months ago actually, when he saw his teacher and he cried.
Yeah.
Because his teacher brought him in big time.
Yeah, exactly.
And he never forgot about
Ian,
the teacher.
That's how I feel emotional about Ian, because he's grounded like that. A lot of guys because I grew up around Turnham, Brockley, respect him. You know, they respect him because he don't forget a face, you know. But yeah.
So being in South London, you obviously done your little college thing where your way of learning. You seem to have done very, very well though, because as time went, when you left, you went in. But if we're going to go into the music business, tell us how that started for you, because I know you've sort of opened doors for a few people. Yeah,
well, I always go back to my grassroots.
How did it all come about?
Markie, Ricky, I said the sound system.
Yeah.
That's where it all started, and it was a funny thing. He's my elder and he's like my bigger brother. And then now I told you I was dancing outside for McDonald's.
Yes.
He was passing, and he said, "What you doing out here? You go to school." And I pull out my knife on him. It's a true story. He will tell you today. And he laughed. He said, "Put that away and come and put me in McDonald's and bought me some McDonald's." You know what I mean? And we started talking from there. And that's how my career started. And then I was around the sound system. And even though I was a young guy, I would never run. They went through they had some bungling with some, I can't even mention the names, but some relevant people in the music game in sound system.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was the youth who would never run, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my family.
Yeah.
And that's what I miss now, because it's like they were a foundation where the music, where they were spending last dime on a record, which we've been.
Yeah. Of course.
That's where it all started. Where I loved it so much. I'll spend my last money and live on pilchard and rice for the week.
Remember the pilchards and rice?
Pilchard and rice for the week. You understand me?
It's still nice.
Just because I've gone Blueboard Records and I bought a £20 record and I've gone up to. You understand me?
Yeah.
Come on, Peter. You know how it goes. We used to travel the whole of England.
Sorry to sort of jump in a bit too personal, but where were you living then? Because obviously mum's passed, dad. I mean, what was the situation?
Well, right at that time when my mum did pass, he went Catford Boys School. Edet, an African guy. He took me under. He gave me a room. I never had a bed. I was on the floor. I was in
So you come from humble beginnings, really?
Yeah. I was on the floor. I was in a, camping bed. You know what I mean? Sleeping bag. And but I tried. I did further myself. I did do sitting gills in cooking, and I got into the chef work.
So you started being a chef for a little while?
Yeah, I started being a chef, and
so you're a good cook, man.
I can cook, man. I can dazzle any woman. I can cook better than a lot of them what I've met in my time. But there you go. But going back to what you're saying about the question. So it was around the 1988. But let's say 1987. This is when I first got my foot in the music industry deep. After I've done the radio stations and things like that. 1988.
So when you say radio stations, what ones did you dabble with? Were you a DJ?
Yes.
'Cause I know you dabbled in DJing, but you don't really do it much. But we'll get into that.
Yeah. Well, who gave me my name, Markie, believe me, B, was Fat Man.
Fat Man Sound.
Fat Man Sound. RGR Radio.
That's Flip's dad, right?
Yeah, Flip's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, I was part of this set for a little bit, and I've learned a lot from them. So big up Flip, General, and all that, because we used to take out the sound, and on RGR I met a lot of influential artists, Admiral Bailey, One Punch Irie, certain guys, and that, believe me, when I go, believe me, like that when I say it on the radio, that was because Fuzzy Jones, do you remember that name, Fuzzy Jones? He was a voiceover man.
No, Fuzzy D, I've never heard of
Fuzzy Jones was big in Jamaica. He was the introducer, what used to say, believe me, yeah, it's through him I got that Markie, believe me, B, which Fat Man gave me that believe me, B. Do you understand me? And I met everybody. I met some influential producers like Jah Life. Jah Life came into the studio one evening and gave me the privilege of the first play of the first #1 song from Caperton, which a lot of people don't know. That was #1 in the Look Good chart. #1 in the Look Good chart.
Yeah. Battery.
Yeah, he gave me an album. He walked in and said, "You play this." You understand me? So, and big up Charging. Jack Rubin's brother.
Yeah.
Big up Charging, because he trained me as a presenter. You know what I mean? And I can't forget these guys.
And ladies and gentlemen, he's talking about Jack Rubin and the Riddler. That
clan there. Yeah, and Charging, his brother, and them and big up Rubin, Jack Rubin, because we still talk on the old bait book. You know what I mean?
Bait book.
So from RGR, I doubled with Paradise FM.
Remember Paradise?
Then it was CFM, Caribbean Music Frequency, and when I was approached by what's his name? My mind blank. But when he told me I wanted to put on station, there's no station would cater for soca as well. They only cater for reggae, really. If you remember back then, there was only one or two.
WLIB,
Yeah,
Station FM.
Yeah, but there was only 1 or 2 soca DJs. This was the station that played soca in drive time.
Okay.
And I looked on the idea and I was like, wow, yeah, man. And it was a big station, CFM. You know what I mean? With DJ Roughneck, Chapel of D, Martin. There was a lot of big soca.
Martin J.
No, Martin J was on soca, but they all played together, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I dabbled with a few stations.
Well, you did dabble with a few stations, but through stations, you manage, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is time to really open Markie up. You've rocked with quite a few artists as well, name brands that right now are lighting candles, and one of them is Top Cat.
Yeah, that was back in 87, 88. Like I said, I've known Anthony Codrington. He went to the same school as me, Catford Boys.
Which is, of course,
Top Cat, yeah. And Joe Grime put out the song Love Me Says. Let me tell you the history on that. Then when he put it out, it was trickling along, but it wasn't getting that play, you know, like Anthony. And I said, yep. I became his manager, stroke agent, whichever way he wants to put it. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was the one
doing the doggy work
and getting the shows. And I'll never forget it, like how I started. I went to Trevor of Night Moves, yeah? And big up Trevor, R.I.P. You know what I mean? Because, you know, these guys are respect.
Legends.
Spencer Williams and all that. Spencer TWJ sound. I used to play around the corner for them Carnival, you know what I mean? And then there was Soul Station, I was Soul Sound and all that, yeah? But I remember going to Spencer, I said, look, I know this guy, you know, really good, Spencer. Like, he'll rock the place. And I go, yeah, but I know artists, blah, blah, blah. I said, give me £100 and a bottle. Yeah.
That's a lot of money back in them days.
A lot of money back in the days.
Hell of a lot of money back in the days.
And that was one of Cat's first shows we'd done. And he liked it, and that was my kind of building platform going in, and that's where I buck you up at Moonlighting. Remember them days there?
Yeah, of course.
And
and Merlin and that.
Yeah, I remember going to Capital Radio, waiting for David Rodigan, and giving him the record, but you know he couldn't play it
because he didn't get the rights.
No, because Capital Radio held him back in playing ganja tunes. It wasn't like he didn't have that kind of freedom, so he couldn't actually play it. And we made the impossible happen.
He played it.
Yes, because he went 8 weeks at number 1, and and right now it's a classic song.
It's
It's an anthem. Of course. You know, all around the place. So and that was the starting of that. And then we done the jungle bits and bobs and that. I even had a jungle label. I had a jungle label, as you know, I had a record shop as well, Street Beat Records, and that was my label as well. I was pressing a few jungle tunes, sending them to Canada, Cat on it, remixed with LSD. Do you remember the jungle?
Remember LSD?
Yeah, LSD. Yeah, and man.
Well, you know what? As well as having Cat, the list goes on, because one of the biggest commercial entities, there's been a couple, but one of the biggest. One of the gentlemen now has gone solo, to my belief, and you're going to put it to bed, was a massive group that were out there on more. It was more on the beginning of the grime, I would like to say. I would say the beginning of the grime, along with I think it was Kano. Where was that big tune? What was the group Kano was from?
Yeah. Kano was around at the time of this tune. There was Pay As You Go.
Pay As You Go
with Wiley them.
Yeah, that's it.
And then there was Nasty
one.
Crew with Big Nasty.
Yeah, and there was another one.
Then there was
what was that other group?
Heartless Crew.
Yes.
With Bushkin, big up Bushkin, because I'm still in touch with a lot of these.
Yeah.
Even they're younger than me, because one thing with me, the way I came up, and you can ask any of them, Mike and the Rampage and all these guys. The way I came up and Ricky gave me a chance, I was that man giving my youngers a chance. Not because they came famous or this or that. And also a niche. I tried with the youngers because there wasn't too many men actually working with the young people, and that's why they want to blame them for how they're acting now, but they didn't want to give him the foundation.
What do you call that then? So what's acting now?
Well,
half of these guys right now, to my belief, they got to look deep into their family tree, because half of them, they could be killing their relatives or having beef with their relatives. How many times are you going to a venue or go to a situation? It's happened to me with silly things. You know, you go around the corner, you meet somebody. I met, say from my personal life, I met a young lady at one point, a long time ago, and I took her to a party. And when I went to a party, her cousin happened to be one of my good friends, and I didn't even know they were related. So things like that, don't you think that's scary?
Yeah, well, I've had that in my lifetime with my stepdaughter for my father. You know, going to the venue and he's like, oh, you're the Albert brother. Oh, you're my brother, you know what I mean? So yeah, it is scary and all of that. And I try my utmost, because obviously I never had the parental guidance and I got children. I've got several children.
How'd you guide your kids?
Well, what I did at my 40th birthday, I made sure I got them all around the table. Yeah, that they know each other. And I tried my best. Yeah, and I've tried my best. But then again, sometimes you can stretch yourself too thin, if you know what I mean.
Some of them didn't get on.
Yeah, it's not even like that. It's just like...
It wasn't because of an area code, was it?
It ain't... I wouldn't say like an area code. Sometimes it could be because the woman, especially in the UK, you know, the government, the way they process the woman, like I say, they process them, that they don't need a father figure.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So they believe because they got that financial backing from the government, they can do what they want, move on what they want, and things like that. Yeah, it's only later on in life they realise no matter how long no matter how long the father's been out of their life, he can step back in it. Because as much as it's like Marmite thing, you know what I mean? They can say they hate the father, but when the father comes back in, they might even get a better respect because the father would show them a certain way forward. However, there is a lot of father would never turn back. True. Like my father.
True.
And which I didn't really understood.
It's called responsibilities.
Yeah, because he never looked back, knowing that he brought my mum from Jamaica, who was not too well. You know.
So he was a part of the Windrush then?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he never looked back at the 5 children he brought in this world. So I tried my utmost best to not mimic him, you know. But obviously, you know, breakups happen.
Of course.
And at that time, I was very, very young, trying to be a grown man. Because my first child was around 17 going on 18. You know?
So you're a bit of an old codger then, Mark.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the music situation, because one name that is just flying the flag as we speak is got to be, he was in a group, and the group were called Morfire Crew.
Right, yeah, Morfire Crew.
How did that come about?
Well, it's so funny, it's like, I had a record shop, Street Beat Records, and I'm working with Merlin. We just had a top 20 with a track called Come On Mr. DJ, number 14 in the charts, Garage, UK Garage. And Blackout was the group's name. Well,
yeah, I remember Blackout, because I used to get their records.
Blackout. And anyway, so a couple of the youngsters came to me in the record shop and said, yeah, actually, a guy GT even said, you need to go see what them guys are doing over there, you know what I mean? And that's when I went to listen, and I was like, wow, this track's got something.
And this was Oi, yeah?
Yeah, Oi. So let me tell you the whole play out of that, what a lot of people don't know. So anyway, I heard the track, and I was a record plugger, you know, I used to put records and mail out.
Yeah.
And Blackout was signed to Independiente, and I was a plugger for them. And I was also plugging, at the time, I started plugging the Soul Solid stuff, because they had the album deal. So I was mailing it out, the Soul Solid stuff. So I told them, you know what, you need to listen to these guys. Morfire. And my guy, yeah, Markie, we believe you, because I know you don't go on the streets, but We just signed
album deal.
Album deal, and it was a big album deal. And all that. Big up Mega Man, because I respect them guys. You know what I mean? Like humble and all that. And the label we was on, I think one of the Soul Solid guys was met. I can't remember his name, was signed to the label. But anyway, so before we get to the label side of things, so they wouldn't sign it. Then I went to Nicky Blue. I'm going to mention his name, BMG. Nicky Blue goes to me, yeah, the track's alright, but it will never chart. Because obviously it was talking certain things which has never been...
Too street. It was too street.
It was too street. I'm mentioning certain things which has never been repeated as a top 10
on radio,
today. No, to this day. Not, you know, we got the drill and all that.
Yeah.
There've been high entries and all of that. But remember, one thing you have to remember, there was no Twitter. Twitter just started 2004 or something like that.
Yeah.
There was none of this download and all that. What man can seem like.
It was text.
Yeah, it was just text and some paste up. So let's get that. Don't get it twisted. So anyway, I sat down with the missus. I said, you know what? I really believe this tune can go, you know. And at this time we have property, you know what I mean? Because man from the street wasn't playing, you know what I mean? So I done a little remortgage, brought some money in, and I had the help of a few people like Jay, what worked at Mission Control, which was one of the biggest agencies of music back then. If you remember, it was run by is it Stock Akerman and Waterman? Yeah, them guys.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. They owned it and all of that. And I knew Jay as a little youngster. Funny enough, because I used to manage him in a group. But he was one of the main guys in the agency. So, yeah, I took my own money, and then I got a tour guide, Tony. So I'm spending like £200 a day just getting him to little shows.
Were you scared?
Huh?
Were you scared?
Of course I was scared, because, man, I'd ride in a house on that, man. I'll get to the sick part of it later on. I ride in a house on it, man, and, you know, put money into something which...
So it was basically win or lose?
Yeah, which I believed in. And then, you know, when people's telling you...
That was a mistake. It
was a mistake because of what they were actually saying on the track. It's never been done before. So, cut a long story short, what happened is we got the ears of a guy, Steve, who had his own little label inside Go Beat Records. And he signed it for small money. I ain't gonna mention little money, the single. However, there was terms, because we had a lawyer. If it does so well, you know, they have to add money.
You have to add money to it.
Exactly. And even with the album matching right. So, you know, we pounded the beats. I even put up posters with it and things like that. You know what I mean? Pasted up on the wall. You know, the greatest thing is...
So the council can come to you then, Mark?
Huh? Well, they wasn't finding like now, innit? They can't do that no more.
Yeah.
But so I pounded the beat with the track, and I went everywhere, and I knew Phil Fabrisham from London Records. Yeah, this was the pinnacle, because I know certain of them soulful garage boys wasn't touching grime because they weren't looking on the youths then. I won't mention their name, but they were on BBC and all that, and they wasn't touching it. Yeah, they wasn't touching playing that music because they wasn't seeing that the youths were coming. And if they did do it, they could have nurtured the youth, even though, and then a lot of us could be in a better position in controlling the game and controlling what's going on out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because...
So what they done was follow the yellow brick road, basically?
Yeah, they were...
After it was tested?
Yeah. So what happened, I can really say, who first played it on BBC, he was the biggest dance DJ in the world, and Phil Fabrisham of London Records, because we had a reputation and know him through... I knew him a long time through Merlin.
Yeah.
And I played at his christening.
Yeah.
He was managing Pete Tong.
Okay.
And Pete Tong was the first one to play it on the BBC.
Mad.
And that was the...
And they went mad.
That was like, wow, what's this? Do you know what I mean? And this is the real talk. Pete Tong played Oi on BBC. Because remember, it's all playlisted, but he was the top radio, and he was
he could get away with certain things.
Yeah. He can play his own thing.
Yeah, we had like a chance of you had a choice of 3 tracks. or something like that within an hour or something like that.
Yeah, but on the BBC, it was more playlisted unless you got a big name on there. You're a big name, you know. He was a big, you know. That time they was getting some crazy money, X amount of thousands doing a gig and all that.
Yeah.
So anyway, he played it, and then one thing led to the other. I got certain other DJs, and even Semtex was at Def Jam. He helped away. Big up Semtex, because you know, gave him a special. And because I came from a sound system perspective, we started giving dub plates out.
Yeah.
And I remember this because it was a Touch magazine about Master Steps. On Master Steps, he gave him a dub of Oi, and he said he played it in Eros. And they couldn't play. The needle broke. Remember it was Techniques then.
Yeah. Techniques 12.
Yeah. He said that he reloaded like 4 or 5 times. And talk about Eros.
I never played.
Yeah.
It's too powerful.
Even me, I remember bringing a record exec down to the Eros in a big garage rave, and it played. And you remember this had no radio play.
Yeah.
It was like everyone just got given an E. It went off crazy. Like, wow, we've got a monster here. So like I said, push. I pushed it with all my might, like with everything. And there's a lot of crazy stuff happen in between. When I mean the roads are real. When you're trying to get money and you're trying to get by, and the devil comes for you.
What happened, man?
Well, it's never been talked about before because we put a blanket on it. The reason why we put a blanket on it is because I think he just got arrested on a gun charge from Soul Solid.
Oh yeah.
Ashley Waters. And they were shutting down all the UK garage and grime raves, if you remember. But while we was going in the transition of doing one of the biggest deals, the producer of the track got shot. Like, free to the shot. You ain't even heard this.
Wow.
But it was a time of my life where I was moving in a different direction. Like, I don't want to get too deep, but God came in my life to warn me right, like,
to get out?
Yeah, something was coming. Yeah, so I don't want to get too deep, but I was transitioning even though money was coming. You get me? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
I was transitioning, and I was seeing certain things which I wasn't into the Bible or godly, but I was going to a path.
It made you go to church?
Yeah. Not church exactly, but I was transitioning. And then, anyway, literally before we signed paper on a four album deal, that happened. He got shot.
Serious?
Very serious. His life could be taken 3 times. I think it's 3 different guys. He was caught in a car. But God is great. His life was saved. And funny enough, my partner at the time was teaching at the hospital because she's a senior theatre technician. She put in a call, and that kind of helped influence fighting for that young man who's here to tell the tale.
Mad.
Yeah, he knows that, and certain people know that. So that happened, and on top of that, before even that happened, 2-3 weeks back, I went into a diabetic coma.
Oh, mad. Because you suffer from diabetes, right?
Yeah, I was touring. No, but I wasn't even that bad. That's when I found out.
Was it because of the stress of everything?
Yeah, the stress, because I was touring, going out to the shows.
Did you have friends that you never had before that wanted to cling on to you?
You know, anytime these things come along, like when you are going to get the people coming along, and this and that. I tried to involve certain friends who didn't want to even come on. That's when you find out who your friends are, because sometimes you're leading, but they want to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Is that jealousy?
Yeah, too much chefs around the broth. You understand me? Because I tried to build a team. And basically, when that happened, it was like, after we signed the album deal, I won't disclose, but because I was transitioning with what's going on in my life, and what happened to him, and after all that passed, because it got very sticky where certain people around me, when I knew true love, because you know, there was a saying, you can't get the shirt, get the collar.
Yeah.
So I got involved in this thing just by being part of, he's the big man around these guys. But
so they in a sense wanted to take you out.
Yeah, get on top of me. But certain real, I can't even mention the name, guys which you know are historic underworld guys, put in a call and it kind of went away.
That's good.
You understand? It went away like overnight. My phone was ringing. I'm not involved, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I didn't even know the people who they actually called. I had a word, but it got that. It was something which woke me up, where God brought me. Because all the time in all my music and everything I've done in music, I've seen some things. I've seen man get shot and drop dead at my foot, but I never realised the devil is so real. Yeah, and when he comes for you, especially when you
gotta be ready.
You're enlightened. But yeah, God came to me. He came to me like, say, yo.
But don't you think then that you're using God because you're not a Christian?
No. Christian, listen, there's all different kind of faith, my friend. You don't have to be a Christian. You just have to be God-fearing. And any man who takes a path of just knowing there's a higher being out there, more to him. Because remember, religion causes divisions. All you have to be is God-fearing. In one way or another, you can be Hindu, Muslim. You know what I mean? Yep. You all know there's a spiritual being higher than you. And you follow it in the best sense. Everybody's got to talk and say, yeah, but this, you know what I mean? A book has been written and been changed by man. You know what I mean? And everybody's fighting with the truth.
Well, we're talking about fighting with the truth because, of course, More Fire went very big and all of a sudden it came to an end. Why did it come to an end, Mark?
Well, tell the truth.
And then, of course, as we all know, Lethal has gone on his solo career and he's still doing very, very well. Why did everybody sort of split up?
Well, tell the truth, like I said, what you just heard. When I saw all that and the stress I went through and all of that, and then I was getting my calling, as far as I'm concerned, because remember, nothing went wrong yet, but I was getting called.
To say stay away?
Yeah, like my journey, like I'm going to get tested. And I did get tested. Yeah. So far as I'm concerned, the album came along. The first part of the first album, Money's Come, I took... Actually, money's owed to me. That's the truth, because of the money what I put in before. But I don't even care. But I took what was
what you felt was rightly yours.
Yeah, mine at the time. But like I said, the first album, it was just the first half. That first half, what you have to build the album, you have to pay the producer.
Yeah.
You know, like money's going out to the producers and everybody who's got content in that album. Yeah. So I just took it and I left the whole thing. There was people around me saying, no, you shouldn't. They know exactly what I've put in.
Yeah.
And that cost me my health. You know. But you know what? You can't buy contentment. And after that, it was so funny. I took a journey before, but I took a journey back to Africa. And I went to Africa, and that was part of my journey again.
That's your journey now with, of course, Soul in Africa.
Yeah, I'm 22 years because it's way back then. I'm going in and out of Africa, and then you see, God is real because He showed me something. He showed me like. At that time, you know, Peter, I've been in the music game. There's a lot of artists I work with. We just skimmed over 2 of them, yeah? But they're the 2, you know, I got my dues to a certain extent, yeah, but not fully, yeah?
You just opened the door.
Yeah, but there's a lot of artists. Well, I worked with Merlin from when he was young, yeah, but he's my boy to this day, you know what I mean? And we're close. We're like brothers, you know what I mean? But, the game, for me, the music game, especially now, is like, it's so, the money.
Let me ask you a quick, we'll get into that, but would you say Markie B for what you've achieved as a a veteran, because you are, in the music game, would you say you're respected?
In my community in the UK, not to that such to say this man he started something, because at the end of the day, there's never been a tune, a record, what charted with the contents it had in history up to this day in the top 10 of the national charts. You understand?
Yeah.
But in Africa, the things I've done there, like I brought artists from Jamaica, shows, the love I get, even though I don't have money,
Yeah.
I feel more appreciated than love. But
So Mark, let me ask you a question. You just said a statement there. Would you say you've wasted a lot of money? Because you must have made a lot of money.
I wish I did make a lot of money. I think what happened with me, I got distracted again, because when I did leave the game, after the Morfire thing, I got dragged back in it. Like, I was asked to help a young man called Nathan, if you remember.
Yeah, no, Nathan.
Yeah,
You brought Nathan onto me.
Yeah, exactly. So Nathan had come into my room, and Omar McNaught was the manager.
Was the manager, yeah.
Yeah, and we supposed to be sharing managers. And I could say I got the first deal on the table, but I never eat from that deal. You get what I'm saying? And it goes like that. You know what I mean?
So would you say you've been used?
I would say I made the mistakes, because sometimes you can wear your heart on your sleeve, and you have to love the game. You've been in that music game and at a certain level. There's a lot of people in that certain realms of the music game, like yourself.
Should be millionaires now.
Exactly, yeah. And it's only because we always can lie fault with others, but one of my mentors says, you know,
Trust?
No, it's like you have to blame yourself for your mistakes. If you're late, it's your mistake. You get what I'm saying? You just have to learn from your mistakes. You know what I mean? We can say the what ifs and this and that, but at the end of the day, we turn left when we should be going right.
So turning left and turning right, would you say that if you had a choice to turn the clocks back, would you do it?
Yeah, well, because it's part of my growing.
And what would you change?
What would I change?
Yeah.
In the music game you're talking about?
With you.
Oh, with me? I wouldn't be distracted by women, that's for.
That's an understatement, that one.
Yeah, you understand?
You can't live with them.
Can't live without them, yeah? I wouldn't be distracted. I would have, let's say, i.e., when I left Morfire, the little I had, I went into properties and bought a few, and I'm doing quite well. Then I got dragged back in the music game, so I wish I stayed with it in the UK. And, you know.
But you've just said a statement which is a bit, you're saying that you wish you made some money, and properties is obviously the big money right now.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know about here, mate. It's all gonna crumble, you know what I mean? It's all topsy-turvy coming. I've been preaching it on...
I've heard you've been doing Bitcoin as well.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Not me, mate. Not me, mate. I done a little bit of blockchain and all that, but yeah, I'm doing some developments in Gambia and all that. Anybody who knows, certain man come to me, but I've never advertised like selling the lands and a few properties there, but I seem to have a little closed-in complex to sell. You know what I mean? In the near future, but yeah, I'm just taking.
But you also taking it slowly. But you didn't, because you went to South Africa. You went to Africa, Gambia, and you started up, as you said, 22 years ago. 22 years ago is somebody that's got courage to keep going on. It must be successful to be 22 years old of soul in Africa.
Well, Soul in Africa ain't 22 years old, but me going back home is 22 years old.
Soul in Africa is about, was it 8 years?
It would have been, you know what I mean, it would have been 8 years if it wasn't for COVID.
8 years,
yeah. But before that, I brought Wayne Marshall there. Did I tell you
I didn't
this
know
story?
that, no.
Yeah, I brought Wayne Marshall in 2010. And I think it was my birthday, a duplex complex holds about 3,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the story. I said it before live on radio. Wayne came on radio and live TV, and he busted it up. You know, Wayne's
Killed it.
guy. You know what I mean? I've got enough love for Wayne. But next minute, couple little NIA, like let's say MI5.
Please.
Yeah, plain clothes with the protocol. President Protocol came into the
equation.
Yeah. No, they came to the studio.
All right.
And, hey, you're a very good singer. How are you doing? We want you to perform at the president's birthday.
Oh, mad.
Next week, alongside Michael Jackson's brother. I think it was Jermaine or one of them.
Or Tito.
And and then when he said, "Sorry, I had an appointment," I said, "This my wife."
No.
Mister, look upon me.
No.
We're in Africa, you know. When anything that happen, what you want us to end up in a pot or something like or in a alligator place, you know what I mean? It was like, you're dissing the president of the Gambia. You don't know who Yaya Jimmy is, bro. Like, come on. No. Big up Wayne. He had an engagement he couldn't miss because he would have done it, yeah. But
so he actually never did it.
He never did it. And the worst thing, let me explain. That could have been a free house, free car, whole heap of money.
He would have get well looked after.
Yeah, because I run with Frankie Paul before. Rest in peace, Frankie Paul. I bought into Jammy's birthday bashes. If you go to my Facebook page, you see a picture of me and him in the president grounds and all that. Yeah, because I know he gave him a house and all that. And I'm there when Peter Morgan singing at his birthday, and with his manager, and he's like, money's getting thrown everywhere. Pick up the money. I'm filling up sacks, and they walk with a sack of dollars and give him. And I know that is just part of the tradition.
Yeah.
Stick money to them and all that, and I know he must have got much more than that. So Wayne
left out on that one, mate.
You left out, mate. You could have got your house in Gambia.
Common sense tells you if any president, king, queen, or anything wants you to do that, you drop anything, gal, whatever,
I'm telling
to go and do that because you know you're going to be well rewarded.
Yeah, man.
Even having it on your CV alone.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
So, Mark, Soul in Africa is of course born, 7 years old, going on 8. And it's been doing very, very well because I heard you did it by yourself for a little while, and then you decided
bring one or two.
I'm gonna bring one or two people in, and you got people like, if I'm right, if it's the same clique, is it right? You got people like Antonio Pascal on this one. Is that right?
Yeah, he's playing on it this year.
And you've started putting some other names from, you got a special touch on there now.
Yeah, well. Goody and Nigel.
But before you never used to touch them. You used to touch just LACJ.
Just a little normal.
Yeah, just a normal
little click, not
click.
That name brand.
So why did you decide that you were going to up it a bit more?
I thought, look, you see what was happening. It was like, let's get straight. Yeah, when I done Soul in Africa, someone tried to take their name already. And we have to try to tell them, you can't use our name. Good Friends Promotion Limited Company. Most of them trips going to the Gambia, we're the only one with website, blah, 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 and register our thing. You understand me? Plus we work with the Ministry of Tourism. Yeah, because I had an MRU from the government. I kept 3 shows there, anybody knows. Bought Christopher Martin from Jamaica, so I'm well in there. Hard work. Now, there was only Huey, AGA Associates, which we will bounce off each other, yeah, and the other one came along is Jay Gamfest. Now there's about 4 or 5 other trips and they're bringing that same kind of influence. So I said, you know what, I know these guys, so let me just bring them anyway. And TLC got married out there not too long ago, so saw Goody out there and all that, and I thought, yeah, let me just have a little shuffle around, because my brand was growing, and it's like now the numbers are coming in every week. I'm booking a couple people. You know what I mean? And if you know, it's one thing. My adverts only change with information, but I always use Soul to Soul, back to life, back to reality. That's my drop. You know what I mean? So I'm selling a brand. Yeah. Soul in Africa is a brand. We're going out there. People know of us in the Gambia. You know what I mean? And you know, also when people come out there and they come with me, they will realize that I'm well respected in the Gambia. From you land at the airport, you will know that
you're on Markie's bus or coach.
Yeah, because I'm inside the airport picking you up, right inside. I'm not waiting outside, I'm inside. You know, so
if I want to come to Gambia, just as don't bring me in as Peter Terry, I'm just a punter. What can you offer me, and how long is it? And
well, tell the truth, we do some great theme parties. We have a all white party which is known in the Gambia, one of the, I could say the top nightclub in the Gambia. We have we do the trip Kunta Kinte Island, which obviously is a supplement, and there's other trips and excursions we give you on your own accord. You can go and do by yourself, because the tour operator we use, we know if you don't want to be partying all them nights, you can go off to Senegal and walk with the lions.
Walk with the lions, yeah?
Walking with Peter. A lot of them's done it. No, I ain't done it. I ain't going to do this. Peter, I'm not going to do it.
But you're expecting your guests to do it?
No, because they've done it. Yeah, even Ash Selector, the DJ.
Mad.
Him and his missus went and do it. He went, Markie, I took great day. Look, I said, brother. I see them walking with the lions, bro. Not me, man, not me.
Oh, because I noticed you have people like Carol Thompson goes, not Carol Thompson. Carol. No,
we brought Janet Kay.
Went.
And Victor Romero Evans performed out there in her third year. Judith Jacobs, she's part of Soul in Africa. She does a keep fit thing around the pool, you know, and all of that, and she plays her music as well. She's been like from the beginning as part of the team and all that. LACJ, you know, he plays his music. You know, he's my guy from how many years? You know what I mean? You know loyalty. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I've been playing with him from creation. You can go back to the 80s. You know what I mean? When he first came back from the States, I remember they bring me to one of these house gigs because he was a house DJ. Do you know that?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
He brought me to this place. So I had to put plugs in my ears and all that. And he used to play with Boy George and all them in the West End. And I'll tell you, I always had to put earplugs. Boom, boom. But anyway, big up LA. You know what I mean?
So let's put it this way: if I'm coming to Soul in Africa, how much am I paying?
Well,
and what's inclusive?
Right, you can do 7 or 11 nights duration, and we used to do 1 or 2 weeks. You know, you'd be 7 or 14 nights. It's only because prices have gone up, and it's the flight alone, Peter, is so ridiculous. It's like 3/4 of the money.
Mad.
You know, absolutely crazy. So we want to keep it to that price, which you know everybody's struggling for money. Remember, my trip wasn't really about making bags of money. It was about people coming and having that journey what I had.
Introducing
a
new sector. Because
I won't name your name, but I've had grown men cry when the last day they leave Gambia. Because that's where I found myself, Peter. Because I went over there and I realised, like, whatever I had, you know about it, the Mercs, the Ranges, all that, way before, man, and I lived that life, you understand me? Run to America with the mother children, spend 20, 30 grand thinking that's life. It's not life. You can't buy contentment. And they show me, I got my reality check, and that's why you would not see me here. I go out there, I see poor people smiling, hand to mouth to hand, every day, yeah? And there's people around who I know, young people who died because of little things like having, insulin, like me. So when I go out there, I bring my stuff and I give out stuff. You understand me? I do my charities, but I don't show the world about it. You understand me? Because I know I'm getting blessed anyway. You know what I mean? But it's a different reality check I got when I went out there, and it's changing now because everywhere's changing and a lot more people's coming to the Gambia, you know. But still, if you want to find contentment in a certain aspect, I'm not saying it's an easy ride and all that, but the people them, they're very, very loving. But you know, there's certain way to trod. Yeah, because I went out living as usual, heart on the sleeve.
Yeah.
I was giving away everything I had, more or less, Peter. You know what I mean?
When they were taking it from you.
Yeah. That as well. It was just like, you know what I mean? Because I thought money ain't gonna done. You know what I mean? But you know what? I feel blessed for it. You know, because I employed people. You know, I had a few nightclubs over the years, but it's not my thing. Do you know what I mean?
We're talking about that because, like, Markie B, I can sit here and talk about all the sounds you've done, your radio life and that, but obviously I try and limit down to get to the nitty gritties of things. And there's three things that I like to always ask, whether it be a DJ, producer, someone in the music business, or anybody. I like to ask them. I have three questions that I ask, and the first one is, what's the goodness of the industry since you've been in it?
I only can talk about back in the days, Peter. I can't talk about the time now because I don't see.
That's cool.
There's no goodness. The goodness of the industry back in the days was the love and the influence from other people. Like I said, it was a sound man what brought me in. Yeah, we had that love. You understand me? To go forward, and that's why I am here today. Yeah, and the music, the artists were singing on the tracks. You know, it was done more with love than money. You know what I mean? The love of doing the work. Now it's like about money and gimmicks. You know, social media wasn't around in the time when I was making these things happen, which makes everything more better. You know what I mean? For the likes of the artists like Stormzy and this one and that one, they're reaching a wider audience. You understand me? It wasn't around.
Do you reckon they're having an easier time?
Oh, 100%, man. Because the fact is, social media counts out the record companies.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
We never have that luxury. We had to go there, and they were making it happen. Now, the record companies are like this. They're begging artists, yeah, and they want to do 360 deals.
Well, they're full of sheeps, aren't they?
Yeah. Because 360 deals now, they want money of. If they sign you, they want money of your touring money. There's a lot of unsigned artists making great money. I remember the time when you reach a top 10 like we had, you might get a £10,000. Yeah, you get a top 10 artist touring now, it's 200-300. You know, it's just like the Premiership footballers. You know, in Ian Wright days, it was 20 grand a week with big money. You get where I'm coming from? Now these, you know what I mean, 300, 400, they're too spoiled. You understand me? And there's no work. That's why Tottenham got so, you know, you see what happened to Tottenham the other day, mate?
I don't really follow the football.
No, but do you know what happened?
No, go talk.
Now, you're talking about Premiership team, a lot of them on 200, 300,000. They're playing the next team. They're down at 9 minutes by 3 goals.
Wow.
Then in 20 minutes, they're down by 5 goals.
Wow.
Yeah? And Tottenham, they made history before. When in the European Cup, 7-0 at home. Now, when you're getting 200 and 300,000 a week, it's something you'll be dying and killing yourself to do. But because they know that money is there and they're living that pop. Remember, the president or the prime minister don't get that money. They're just looking on their phone and say, "Yeah, the money's in the bank." You know, and that's why I said it's much easier. And I go for the industry as well. You know what I mean? However,
we know the industry's fake.
Well, however, let's be real. Like R&B is dead because the reason why R&B is dead because there's great R&B singers who are black, but if they're white, they'll be the greatest thing in sliced bread. You understand me? And you know our culture has always been used.
100%.
And that's a fact. I'm just telling you realness. There's some great R&B out there. You know what I mean?
A lot of it's in the gospel. Yeah.
And now Afrobeat is the dominant music, which I've been saying
it's a killer.
Many years ago. But it's been there from the 80s, like late 90s. It started with Nigerian artist Fela Kuti, who I met in Nigeria in 1982. And I don't know if you remember, back in the days I was playing, what's that club? Shinolas. The one across the road. The Nigerian guy, Babs. I used to do the biggest Nigerian night, 600 Nigerians on a Thursday night. playing down there. So I've always been around,
Dabbled in it.
Yeah, dabbled around in Nigeria. And I saw this music coming, and I told major companies. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, the amount of artists, like I say, I work with, all put away, and I ain't got an A&R job.
Mad, isn't it?
Ain't it? And
there's one that I do know as well, that there's one big producer. Tell everybody who that is.
Influence, which he said on social media.
Yeah, but you were his influence. It's still
it's still Bangles who goes around with my son. He told me, and it was very, you know what? When I came back from Africa this year, Bangles just told me, you know what? I remember playing your first tune and XYZ, like playing a song to me, and like I said, yeah, that sounds really, really good, but you know what I mean?
To have you as an inspiration, all that must be a good feeling, right?
Oh, well, it means a massive feeling. He kept a party at his house for my son, because like I said, one thing Bangles, he won't change, and his team is tight. He's got 2 sons and people around him, and them guys used to rave round me. Yeah, you know, like when I used to play granaries and that. My sons didn't come and promote and all of that. I can't remember if Bangles came out, but they've always been tight network.
Which is good.
And like you said, he kept a party at the house the other day. And we're talking. I'll talk to him in Gambia as well. And even the other day, he made history. He just done that Burna Boy track with I can't remember the Indian guy, but he got gunned down. One of his friends who he produced for in India, and he done like 8 hours. He went like 8, 9, 10 million streams.
Mad.
Like 2 days, 20 million YouTube hits. You know.
Mad,
so
mad.
I was all happy, and I phoned him, and he was doing the greatest thing. He was doing a press thing. His album's coming out very soon.
And he still picked up the phone to you?
He picked up the phone. No, actually he didn't. He sent a message. You know what I mean? So, you know,
that's good. That's good. Being humble.
Yeah, he's the most humble of guys, man, and he's cool. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's put it this way. So we've had the goods. Now there's the bads. What's the bad about the industry?
The bad about the industry. They want the anarchy. Those involved at the top, they want kids killing each other. Yeah, they don't really want to, you know,
help it.
Like, i.e., you know, social media can make you or destroy you. And even the guy who made the internet said he's made a monster on the 30th anniversary.
Yeah,
he came out and said he made a monster. And when I'm looking at what's going on, and what's exposing like children and all that. Children, they say in the last days children will be ruling their parents, but you can see why, by the influence of music and the industry. Now some of the guys say, nah, they can't say about industry and all this and that. A lot of men running around in balaclava talking about like smoking and chopping man up and all this and that. You know, stemming from America, we're not too far behind.
Of course it's from America.
We're not too far behind him. And this is what I have to tell you, Peter. Like, when I hear someone, I've been stabbed 3 times. You know what I mean?
Your fault?
No, because I'm a
random.
No. It's a case of one was random racial attack. Yeah. But when I see a youngster getting stabbed or murdered, it put a tear in my eye. Because I feel it. You understand? Because I was one of them.
Well, you've come from there.
Yeah, I've come from that background.
Yeah.
So, but now it's normalised. But however, it's normalised because it's broadcast even louder because of social media. It's always been there. It's going on from the 80s. I've been stabbed in the 80s. It's always been there. But now it's been played out even more. You understand? So more youths would arm themselves, more youths would get into the area code business because social media is not
your friend.
No, it's not doing parental guidance.
No, of course it's not.
On content. Sorry, what's going up on there? Now, I'm coming from England, and kids are killing themselves. Like every sit here, Peter, doing an interview. Next kid most probably dying.
Yeah.
Coming from school.
So in Gambia, is it sort of the same?
Peter, I went out there back then 20 years ago to know a country what don't have no government backing, well, when Yahya Jammeh was there, he was getting into free schools, like government schools. If you're sick, the family have to rally around, yeah? Rally around. The minimum wage is not in place. People are surviving on like £50 a month, some even less, yeah?
Right.
And you have to raise a family, yeah?
But then again, the currency is really sort of, it's skin, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but it's all about government.
So if I took, okay, let's put it this way. I took £100 to Gambia.
Yeah.
That would last me for my holiday, yeah? UK currency.
If you really want to, because you can eat and buy some souvenirs. If you're eating like with some white and black people, like there's a restaurant out there which is real well known. I don't go to it, only if people wanna, called Caddy Caddy, which do a service for the community, and you can go in there and get a meal for £2.
Well, there you go. But now that's a 3-course meal, right?
Yeah, no, just like rice, chicken, or fish and chicken or whatever. You understand me? You see how the cost of living has gone up here?
Yes.
Africa has gone up 3 or 4 times.
Man.
Then you got the Chinese taking away the fish and pushing up the prices there, you know what I mean? But the funny thing is, Peter, the murders and the killing is not excessive as the Western world.
Yeah.
I've driven from there to Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, Senegal. I've been around by myself.
And you're good.
And I feel more safer than I am in England.
Mad.
Yeah?
So that's the good, that's the bad. Is there an ugly? Or do we say the bad and the ugly are the same?
The bad and the ugly is the same. The ugly thing is, yeah, there's a lot of parents need to get a grasp of your children and what content they're watching on their phones. Because this thing is real. You can't be looking out and seeing what the, you know, I don't want to get into this world war coming and all this and that. Yeah.
It's coming though, Mark.
Yeah, well, I know that, and I've been calling it 3-4 years ago, but I even said I'm done in warning people. I told people how many years ago, get your money out of the banks. Because I heard from other big people, I heard from rich people, you know what I mean? I always try to go around well-to-do people that I could do better myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't go around with people, well, I do, and then I do go around with people who's in my margin, like you and me, and we're doing the same thing. But at the end of the day, to get where I am, I had them influence from people
From higher levels.
Higher level.
Yeah.
And you know, a guy told me 3 or 4 years ago, he's a banker. The banks are going to collapse. They're going to bring in this digital currency, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I tell people this, they tell me I'm mad. I put it on Facebook, they say, yeah, what's going to happen? And now,
well, that's another thing, because you do a lot of controversy things on Facebook and stuff like that. Do you do that because you're trying to spread a message, or do you do that because you're bored?
No. What you have to look at, Peter, I don't really, even when I'm doing my, I always found the whole internet intrusive from a long time. You know, one of my nephew, I'm not just saying him, he's like the top 40 software engineer in the world. He's been headhunted, he's in America now. He worked for the last job he just done. Now he's brought a team out of there. What's the money place in America?
I don't know.
You know, where they do all the stocks and shares and all of that. Wall Street.
Wall Street. Yeah.
He went over there as an advisor, and he left the BBC. Yeah. And now he's working for himself and all that. And he showed me certain things what's coming. Like, this internet thing is dangerous. How they can mimic you now. Like, you can say, we're planning a plot to kill the president or something. And then when you look on what's going on Facebook, they're putting so much stuff in there, you don't even know what's real or not again.
I'll tell you what's real as well, Mark. Someone told me that one of your daughters is an actress on Coronation Street.
Yes. yeah.
Tell everybody who your daughter is on Coronation Street.
She's Shanique Sterling Brown. She's a Brown, you know what I mean? And anybody's on my bait book.
Is she your oldest?
No, she ain't the oldest daughter or the oldest child. She's only 26, 18.
And did she say to you that, Dad, I want to get into this acting thing?
No, listen, let me explain.
Go on and explain it to me.
Even I got children, I was there for her through university, UCLan University. I moved her in her digs, helped. I see her qualify. You know, I was there when she picked up. Everybody knows that because my Facebook page, she's always been there, because out of all her siblings, that's the one I could say I was there fully for, kind of thing, like saw her to the end.
Does she call you daddy?
Right? Yeah, of course. I was ecstatic. I've gone to a couple of like she studied law and acting in UCLan, and then a couple of interviews for work in the West End and all that. I've been. I'll put it on Facebook, like my daughter's inside and all that. You know what I mean? So, to see like there's other people who struggled in the game, especially being black for many, many years. So when I see her. And
ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who she is in Coronation, she's the lawyer. She's the black lawyer.
Yeah, in the family.
In the family.
Yeah, when that happened, I cried.
Right.
I cried when she actually she graduated at UCLan. Yeah, I'll tell you a story. What was really, this is a true story.
Yeah, because you put her graduation on your Facebook. I remember.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you a true story. Like, she's up in Yorkshire, and she's at the school where she's the only black person. But she's getting honoured by getting how many merit passes with certain other students by the mayor and the headmaster. I'm in Gambia, and I said I'm not missing up for well, but you know, my eyes, I was losing my sight, obviously, because I had cataracts at the time, so I couldn't see shit. I shouldn't have done it, but I'll never forget it. Came back to England, it was winter time, drive 200 miles to Brighouse, Yorkshire.
Yeah, but you want to see your daughter, don't you?
Yeah, but it got dark, Peter. Peter. Now I know, when I used to say, look, Peter, Four Eyes Kid and all that back in the day. Now I'm Mr. Bloody Magoo, mate. But it was one of the hardest. It was horrible, Peter. You know, like up in Yorkshire, the breeze and the water and the rain, and it got dark. I couldn't see shit, but I got there in the end and I broke down. And I was like, oh God, I got here, and I saw her graduate, and you get like the energy, and like when she's picking up her thing, everybody looking at, it must be he's the only darkie there.
But when she was young, was she into TV a lot? Did she say, I want to do that one day, Dad?
No, she said she wanted to do acting, but what she used to be, she was a bit, you know, like she's been to quite a few places from young, Dubai, America, you know what I mean? And the one thing, she was very affluent. Like she, you know, at a wedding, she'll go and pick up the mic. Yeah, like 5 years old, and have big people in tears. The way she was very
flow.
Yeah, spoke and the words she used and all of that. People say, "That your daughter?" Man, I can't believe this youngster talking like that. And you know, like I'll never forget when we was on a plane, and you know, like she flew first class before, like Virgin and all that. We're going to America shopping and all that. By the time when we used to go to Africa, and she'd be small, like. Dad, did no TV in the headset. And all the players start laughing. You get where I'm coming from? Because you know some cheap playing we're going on. But yeah, man.
So when you see her on TV on Coronation Street, has it made you now want to watch Coronation Street?
Yeah, I never watched that rubbish. Sorry.
Oh my God!
You know what it is? But the funny thing is,
you're in love with it now.
No. If my daughter heard this, she needs, you know, through your father, you know, I'm up to several hundred people are watching it now. You know what I mean? Because they told me the same thing. They stopped watching it. You know, it's the East End lot. But now they're watching it, you know what I mean? And I get the feedbacks and all of that. So it's kind of great. Yeah. So yeah, I feel very,
that's
very
a massive
good.
achievement. So you've achieved quite a lot.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to ask you another thing now. This is a question that I like to ask, and this always gets DJs, promoters, or whatever stuck. I want you to name me your 5 biggest DJs.
What?
5.
To me.
To you.
The 5 biggest DJs.
Come
what do you mean
Mark.
DJs?
Mark,
are you talking about sounds?
Mark,
DJ
it
sound.
could be sound, it could be sound, it could be whatever you want.
Okay, if it's
and
sound.
I go 5.
Saxon sound.
1.
Because I come from my ends, and them are the most influential sound in the reggae music in England, around the world.
That's one.
And a lot of people don't know Papa Levi's the only Brit to go #1 in Jamaica with God Me King. I mean, know him. I mean, so wrong with his song. Big up Papa Levi and them, man. That's one. Yeah. 2 was me where I done my like gone through the academy. Mighty Excelsior sound. When it came to Lovers Rock,
2.
They had even the artists coming to the dance.
That's cool.
Yeah,
2.
yeah. So Josh Shaka,
3.
Neville,
3.
because he put
R.I.P. Shaka as well.
yeah, rest in peace Neville. Remember, most reggae sound system was playing dub.
Mm-hmm.
He stuck to his guns. And made it more worldwide. Mm-hmm. He went into dubstep and he influenced white people come to the
massively
dance.
White people.
Yeah. White people to the dance, and he is a pioneer. He's the king on top. You really and truly. Mm-hmm. But big up Neville. And like I said,
that's your 3.
I live up in Speakerbox Co-op nightclub. I used to live Brown Hill Road, but anyway.
That's 3. Come on, you got 2 more.
3.
Getting stuck.
Wait, no, I said Saxon.
No, Mark, don't start think,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Come on, you got
Alright,
2 more. He doesn't even know, look.
No, I have to say Fat Man.
Okay,
He's
that's
my
4.
influence in my life.
Have you noticed Markie said all sounds, you know? I said DJs and sounds, you know? So that's 4. Fat Man, yeah, go on, you got 1 more.
But DJs.
No, Mark, you got 1 more. You got 1 more.
Because I'm coming from a sound.
Mark, you got 1 more, man. Stop the long thing.
What sound would I put there right now?
Don't forget, people are listening, you know? You got 1 more.
Influencing my life. The 5th.
Do you want to hold back on that one?
I want to hold back on that one.
Right, so he's got 4. He couldn't even mention 5. Okay, that's cool.
Because you know.
No, Mark, forget that. Let's move on.
Oh yes, I can say who's been a great.
Who?
Myself.
Alright. No one said that before, but Mark
Myself.
I'll let Mark go in there. So that's your 5.
You know why? Because, which I can say on the podcast,
Go on.
I'm an influencer. And I'm a man who like to do things ahead. It's just like everybody's doing this.
He thinks it's easier. I'll give you another.
No. You know, like this refix thing. Like, come back. Everybody's doing it, Peter.
Yes, remix.
But you remember where it started from, Peter? Do you remember where it started? Or if a DJ wanna say no, he done it before and he had a bigger influence than me. I came from America and I came with genuine pony rhythm, and I put the freak in you on it. And I went and played at Tyson Street and bust down the place. After that now, yeah, I print white label, sold 10,000 copies. It entered the KISS charts, you know they did local charts, number 6. Then I sold it to Terry, that tape. I'm talking that tape, you know.
Terry Dunn.
Terry Ruckus Promotion.
Oh,
remember he used to press all the rare grooves?
Yeah.
He bought that. So that where it started from.
Alright, there you go. That's Markie. Right, Markie. You got another session now. Name me your 5 top MCs.
MCs?
Yep.
Even in reggae sounds?
Mark, carry on, man.
Papa Levi 1. Smiley Culture, rest in peace.
R.I.P. 2.
Yeah. I have to say MC Creed.
3.
Big up. I have to say Come Up to Date. Very good. Dud.
Wow. 4.
Yeah. And number 5. Let me stuck again. Let me see who know. Me can say number 5. Or me can listen to and say, yeah, them man there used to just give me foundation. I have to go Jamaica for that one though.
Come on, Mark.
Can I?
You go wherever you want. You can go Buckingham Palace, mate. Go on.
Lieutenant Stitchy.
There you go. That's your 5. Right, Markie, I've got to ask you the last question, mate. What do you want to do before you hang up your gloves?
Who, me? What, in the industry?
Whatever.
Well, tell the truth, I'm at that point where I'm getting dragged back into this game kind of thing, Peter. I just really want to just go fishing and chill out in Africa.
Fishing?
Yeah, I fish, man. Well,
Yeah.
big up Gary Hall, my brother-in-law. He taught me fishing when I was young. He got me my mind thinking. It's a great, therapeutic, I can't pronounce that word.
Relaxation.
Yeah, that's better, isn't it? you do want to say it as well, innit? yeah. Very relaxing, and you know what I mean, get your mind right. But the things I want to achieve before I leave this earth is, one, I would like to build in Gambia some homes for some, you know, people who can't afford. You know what I mean? And I'm starting a charity, put kids in school over there, even though I never go. But you know what? The kids over there want to go to school. Do you understand me? There's a difference. Sponsoring 1 or 2 at the moment. Yeah, and that's it really.
You know what, Markie B, people got to give you credit where it's due. There's a lot of things today that's going to open up people's eyes and say, "Wow, Markie did all that."
And I ain't even gone through it, you know.
And he hasn't gone through all the artists he has worked
I could call certain legendary producers' name who brought me artists, and I brought them on the road. But I never eat, you know what I mean? But I don't really care, you know what I mean, Peter?
Because you know the story.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Mark, you know Peter Terry was always told, don't come to my home without anything. I always had a gift. And I'd like to present you with this, and I'd like you to open it and have a look at it.
Let me just put some trick thing, go blow up in my face. Come bring up.
And I'd like to say, Markie B, this has been all about your life. So if you could take it out, and you can have a look at that.
I bet it's a fine. Is it a fine I had for me?
We got
certain people
a
that work
banger for you next week. The list goes on. Don't forget, going to the Industry Street with Peter Terry. Markie's now going to read what that says. What does it say, Mark? What does it say, Mark?
You got me emotional.
What does it say, Mark?
The Industry Street presents to Markie B for your contribution to the music industry. Thank you, bro.
There you go, Markie B.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Who says big man don't cry? That is yours. All you need to do now is promote that and let people know who you are. We've got another banger for you next week. Take care. Industry Street out.
Yeah, man.